Hey everybody, it's Gomedex, and welcome back to another premiere draft of Edge of Eternities. Without further ado, let's get into the draft. We got a great green rare here. It's a mono-colored spell, so fits into any green deck. And it's just a huge finisher by itself. It's really easy to attack in with this as an 8/4 for 4 mana. Plus you can spread those landfall triggers around wherever you need them. If you have like a good flyer, that can make it really easy to get the extra damage in. If you have lander tokens, you could double twice. And obviously doubling things gets exponential. So the first time you make this an 8/4, if you then crack a lander token, that is 16 damage off the one card. Harmonizer, very fun, very powerful card. Doubling power as well. If you just have a bunch of creatures on the ground, and your opponent has the good old chump blockers for them, you can still use that to help you station your Spacecraft super easily. Just a lot of play to the Might Form Harmonizer. Pick number 2, Ice Cave Crasher would be pretty reasonable. It's obviously exceptional with something that could double its power because it has that built-in trample. But I don't think it's nearly as powerful as a couple of these off-color options, so it's worth speculating a little bit to go to a higher power level card like Banishing Light for excellent removal, or Dual Sun Adepts for a really efficient white threat here. So we'll take the Banishing Light, I think, here for the great removal. Green-white's also a pretty aggressive deck that can have a lot of creatures that get plenty of value getting boosted by the Harmonizer. Pick 3 is awkward. There's nothing here I would be that interested in for the green-white deck. I love the man lands, though. Any lands that once you're flooding out, you can turn into relevant creatures. This one's one of the weaker ones. My favorites of them are the ones that are evasive threats, like flyers or unblockable creatures, but this still gives you value. If you flood out, all of a sudden, you have a death-touching blocker. You can kill any creature that's attacking you on the ground, no matter how big it is. So that's still good flexibility when you're flooding out. So I am happy to speculate for a 2-color spell here for a massive gain in power level versus anything else in this pack. It's a pretty weak pack overall. Favorite cards probably like Modifier, or one of these decent green tricky spells. Cryo Shatter's fine too, but I'm not going off color for that. We'll take the Quagmire. Pick number 4, maybe that'll work out because here's a Siege Ship Brood Tender. Pick number 4. There's also a Gravkill, which honestly I might take over Brood Tender because I love that kind of excellent just exile sort of removal in this set. But we could take Brood Tender as a decent sign for green-black, and then Gravkill as the card to push us deeper into the color pair. There's also Germinating Worm for a beefy creature to go with the Harmonizer, or Dockworker Drone's reasonable in the green-white counters deck. I think Gravkill's the best card in this pack, and I am interested in the potential Golgari path off of the Hissing Quagmire. Ice Till Explorer, not the greatest card ever, but when you have good landfall abilities, it can do some nasty stuff, and we have a Might Form Harmonizer, and the one color pair that might get some value off of all the self-mill is green-black. It has the most of those reanimation effects like we saw in the last pack, although we passed on that one. It is not going to come back because by the time that it would wheel, even if nobody else is in green-black, we'll wheel something like an Annul or a Drill Too Deep. That's just pretty much unplayable instead. Fell Graveship, another good card for the self-mill green-black strat, just a good value play in general as well. These Germinating Worms could go decently late for us, and those help us station that pretty well. Monoist is fine. Trades off, gives another robot back, but I like the Ice Cave Crasher with the Harmonizer. Also just beefier creatures to help station Spacecraft like the Graveship. I like the Crasher here. Crasher and Monoist very close in power level, but I'll lean towards the green here, especially with 2 double green spells. We'd rather be deeper on green than black. Go a 10-9 split, 10 green sources. Or sorry, not 10-9. I guess because we have a dual land, yeah, 10-9 instead of 9-8, but yeah, go a lot deeper towards green than black. Pick 8, this pack sucks. Left Blade Enhancer if you're like the +1/+1 counter white aggro deck, and then some really filler stuff for other strategies. We'll take Scrounge for Eternity, but I'm probably not playing it. I guess if any deck could play it, we have multiple pieces of self-mill right now for that to be a little interesting. Nice late pick 9 Germinating Worm, although Stomping Ground, because there's no dual lands below rare, would be interesting in case I open a great, green-red Signpost Uncommon, or like a red Mythic or anything like that. help us go full Jund. I'm speculating. I'm going to take Stomping Ground. Here's Intrepid Tenderfoot. Fill out the deck a little bit. Another Scrounge for Eternity. Just because Graveblade Heavy really doesn't do anything. And nothing to wrap up these packs. Pack 2, pick 1. We open up an on-color rare. Sadly, it is a card completely designed for Constructed that is utterly useless in Draft and Sealed. Sorry, Cosmogoyf. I just speak the truth. We've got Gene Pollinator here for great fixing and ramp potentially, or another Grav Kill for excellent removal. I am on 1 removal spell right now, a single Grav Kill. Feel that's going to be more important to us right now. We currently have nothing that costs more than 4. So I'm not going to go too deep on the ramp yet. I'm going to take Grav Kill. I think that's super, super good. Super important here. We can also take this Dirgecraft. Nice 2-for-1 play. Stations well with big, beefy green creatures. It's fine by me. I only have a few Spacecraft for artifacts right now, but Circuit Feeder is exceptional if you have even a single other artifact on the board by the time you play it. Possibility Technician is also exceptional, though, and all of our black spells are late-game plays that require a single black mana. So I could see Green-Red Splash the Black, play a Green-Red Kavu deck, where this can just be incredible. So you can warp this in for 2, cast it for 3, and then by itself it's a draw 2 and a 3/3, which is already insane. And you play any other Kavu and it just goes off the rails. I'm going to take the Technician there. Maybe go Green-Red Splash the Black. Pick 4. Not the best of these station lands. We have a fine 2-drop, fine red removal spell with Cut Propulsion, or a very filler Kavu, but a Kavu nonetheless for Possibility Technician. I think I'll just take more removal. Get Cut Propulsion. Pick 5, Zookeeper Mechan. A little bit of ramp for us. Pick 6, I guess I'll take the filler Kavu to go with Possibility Technician. It's that or like an Ardent. Pretty bad pack. For us. Sure, I'll just top off my curve with 5 mana. Kavu. Moxite's also okay. Discard, draw 2, get a 2/2. It's good value if you've spent all the mana off of it. We'll probably wheel plenty Sky Wardens to play around with the Moxite. Pick 8 is a bunch of nothing. Just rare draft this Thespian Stage. Pick 9, bunch of nothing. Voidborn, in case I end up deep on black. I am not going to be splashing in Embrace Oblivion. Pick 10. Yep, this is where we get those really late Kavu. Pick 11, bunch of bad black spells. Rare draft the highest rarity card for Vault Progress. We're in a very reasonable position moving into pack 3. We have a couple pieces of good fixing between Hissing Quagmire and Stomping Grounds to get this mana base working, of just like curve out with good Gruul creatures and splash in some black removal. We are really just looking for a few Lander token providing spells, and then I think we'll be in a great position. If we get a Galactic Wayfarer or 2, those are the 3/3 that spits out a Lander token, and maybe like the 4 mana deal 6 create a Lander token out of red, then I think we'll be in an awesome spot here. And those are all commons that we're looking for. Obviously, if we open up any rares in any of these 3 colors that are any good, that'll help too. But out of things that we could reasonably expect to open often, it would be a couple of the common Lander token things, the 3/3 that makes a Lander and the 6 damage removal that makes a Lander. Sadly, we see none of that here. Pack 3, pick 1. We have a Bombard or a Thawbringer as my favorites of these cards. I like the Thawbringer with how it plays with Mightform Harmonizer, just being a high power creature. Fits well on our mana curve right now as well. It's between that and the Bombard for sure. Siege Ship Impact would be part of the equation if Thawbringer wasn't here, but I think Thawbringer looks really nice for this deck. I'm going to take that here. I think being in these 3 colors, we'll find other opportunities to get just 1 or 2 more removal spells, which is all we really need at this point. Pack 3, pick 2. None of the good land or token providing cards yet again is tragic. We've got another 5 mana Kavu. This one's better than the Sky Wardens, but still. It's another 5 drop. Just take a kill ship for like an absolute finisher. We don't actually have any landers in here. We've got 1 mana dork. This isn't the greatest kill ship deck, but not terrible. Reasonable biosynthetic burst deck too, but I'll go for the kill ship. Pack 3, pick 3. This pack's also pretty mediocre. Chemosymbic Might or Tenderfoot. Take the Might here. Diplomatic Relations for more removal. Pinnacle Kill Ship for the big late game removal plus creature. Go for the Relations here. Pick 5, another Zookeeper Mechan ramping up, Dubious Delicacy off the splash, or a Gene Pollinator ramping up and fixing. We'll go for the Gene Pollinator on this one. No lander tokens, no problem. We'll just play a couple random mana dorks instead, I suppose. I need, because 2 of my picks so far have been dual lands, we're actually on 20 non-land cards, so we need 3 more playables here. Interceptor Mechan is a fine splash, good 2-for-1 value play. Toy around with that. Pick 7. Just a super filler creature to get us to our 23 non-land playables. Pick 8. Reasonable removal spell or a cheap Death Toucher are the options here. 14 creatures. I'll take the cheap Death Toucher. The Resolve is very fun if you're a deck with a lot of the 4 mana Kavu that has Menace, because if you put Resolve on a creature with Menace, it can't be blocked at all. So that's a fun little combo, but we didn't get any of that. I actually think that in this deck, Fate Maker is better than anything we currently have. We are at the point that every time we draft a card, we cut a card. I guess despite not fitting in as well on the mana curve, it's probably better than Pangolin. Sure. Cut Pangolin for Fate Maker. Then would I cut Fate Maker for Biosynthetic Burst? Almost definitely. Sure. Triple Sky Warden is a lot for most decks, but Possibility Technician. The possibility of getting more value would be awesome. I hope every single person in this draft pod is sad that they're not in blue-white. There are 10 color pairs and only 8 drafters, so there are going to be 1 or 2 not drafted color pairs in each pod, on average. But that is a tragedy, seeing the station monitor that late. That card is incredible for blue-white double spell. Alright, well, we built the deck as we went in that final pack here. Very simple little Jund deck here. Basically Gruul aggro, splashing in some black removal. Looks perfectly average. It's not super exciting, but it's not super terrible. It's got removal, it's got fixing, tiny bit of ramp, and a little bit of bomb power, with Harmonizer doing huge damage and Technician drawing a bunch of cards. Yeah, perfectly reasonable deck here. We'll see how it plays out as we hop into the gameplay. Here we are on the play for game 1. We don't have an early curve out, but we have multiple of our great rares, so we have really powerful stuff to do once we start playing spells. Nutrient Block will start our opponent off. Find a Zookeeper Mechan. That allows me to play Moxite and Technician turn 4. The warp of the Technician, that is, or if the Technician warps in anything that costs 2 or less, like our land drop for turn, we can play that immediately. But now I could also just curve into Crasher or Harmonizer. If I curve into Crasher first, I guess I actually don't have double green, so I can't play Harmonizer here, but if I play Crasher right now, if I hit a land next turn, I get to like warp Harmonizer and just bash for 10. Just I can order it so Crasher becomes a 5/4 and then gets double power. It would be gnarly. Here's our opponent's turn 3. They're gonna Embrace Oblivion, kill the Crasher. Fair enough. That is one removal spell that now can't be used on my Form Harmonizer. Or Possibility Technician. Peregrine Beckoner, just get a couple extra damage in off of the Warp. They are blue-black here. Do hit our land for turn, but if Technician hits the land, I'd rather play it off of that. So let us Warp you. Find a Pinnacle Kill Ship. The only 7-drop in the whole deck. Probably the worst card we could hit off that Warp. So let's Moxide away this mountain, hoping to hit the forest instead. Don't hit the forest, but we do play land for turn. Nice thing about the Technician is that this kill ship will be playable later if I ever play one of my 5-mana 4/5 Kavu. Biosynthetic Burst is actually a pretty reasonable draw here. If they don't have exactly Grav Kill that exiles, then the Burst makes it so they need double removal to deal with Technician. And Technician could hit a land here this turn, so that I get my immediate value out of it regardless. It's a 3-drop, which is exactly 1 mana too much. At least that one's castable soon. Peregrine Beckoner. Alright, no removal for Technician. Feels good. If I spend a burst just to kill Prospector here, they're going to get a lander token and keep the Prospector anyway, so I'll just take the 4. Okay, there's the next green source. Gravship has a Crasher can hit here. I'd have 3 mana up for it. It's not enough. I can play the Gravship. 10 life. They have 6 power on the board. Play the Gravship. I still have 2 mana up for Biosynthetic Burst, I guess. Or I just play a Tenderfoot. I have the mana to just Grav kill the 4/5. But then I'd want to play Stomping Ground untapped, which is painful. Let's just deal with this while they're tapped out. This feels safest. I don't have to play Gravship this turn if Technician lives. So saving the burst to make the Technician more likely to live feels good. And this way, just on board, I have a 1/3 for their 2/1s. They don't get any extra damage in here. Cool, so now I could play Harmonizer and Gravship. Unless they instant speed removal Technician before Harmonizer resolves. Okay. Please don't kill Technician in response to this. I am tapping out of the burst for this. Let's get 6 station towards it now. Still think the Trampler's better, especially with Harmonizer out. I'm not going to want to block with a 3/2, but I'm fine to block with a 4/4, so I'm not going to finish the station until next turn once this loses its Summoning Sickness and is ready to attack. Okay, kill ship the Technician, fair enough. We are still very far ahead here. Gravship with double power is going to go super hard. It is a shame that the Lander token cards are very heavily drafted now, because if I had Lander tokens to double the power twice, this Gravship would go so crazy. Alas, I do not. But it's still real good. Could even activate Mechan's ability if I run out of stuff to do. Alright, we got the winning board state. They gotta draw real well to get out of this. There are a few board wipes in the set that would do it. could also draw super well, and then they're dead on board. 14 damage out on our board. Counter unless we pay 2, we just pay the 2 and that's it. Boom, and we start things off 1-0 heading into game number 2. Here we are for game number 2. I'll keep this. The Explorer letting us play lands out of our grave does help us dig towards that red, and the red spells are all fine to play nice and late. So we just need any land by turn 4 for the Icestill Explorer. Terra Pact Intimidator. I've got a Death Toucher out, so unless they kill that, I'm just going to stop them from getting landers. Create 2 lander tokens. No. And obviously whenever I hit the red source, I also have Cut Propulsion. Three mana 3/3 that I can trade into it. Cool. Trade 2 drops. There's Tanook. The tap land for our 4-drop. So it shall be. Monkey's Paw has curled. And we hit our 4th land on turn 4. Guess who's gonna die? It's Icestill Explorer. And then subsequently me, because I can't find red. On the plus side, the Explorer doesn't really do anything at all at this rate, because we're not drawing any lands anyway. Without lands to trigger landfall, Explorer is literally just a 4-mana 2/4. Would let us play the land we mill off Thawbringer if we mill a land on it. Don't mill a land anyway. Man, we have statistically got to be getting close. Yeah, we have 7 red sources. We do not have much time, though. $15 cards deep now without one of our 7. Greenhouse is a super frustrating card because it's like the kind of card where if you're already ahead, then it steamrolls and you're way ahead. But if you draw it when you're behind, then it's terrible. Oh, we're so dead. I have to chomp on board here. That is gnarly. Now that there is nothing we could cast to turn this around, doesn't matter if we hit the red source here, but we still didn't regardless. Alright, brutal draws that game. Obviously a bit of a risky keep, but the punishment was insane. We couldn't hit one of our 7 red sources, 17 cards deep. 1-1 it is, head into game 3. I guess I wasn't even counting the mana dork. We could have hit Jean as well, so there are actually 8 cards we could have drawn towards red. Santa has issues too. No black source this time, and no creatures to play at all. It's all removal. But I don't think I can mulligan it, and black is our lightest color. So it's a lot safer to have a no black source opener than a no red source opener. Decent draws so far. We hit a couple creatures to actually cast throughout this game. Teamer ramp from our opponent, green, red, and blue. The 5-color deck. Found all the lander tokens, of which we have found 0. And I'm sad. Get out of here, Mite. You're not my second green for Harmonizer. Ooh, Command Bridge. That is a dedicated 5-color build. Meltshredder's Resolve for the trade is very okay. Our Thawbringer kills 2 of their cards in that exchange. Goodbye 7-drop. We're very far away and need forests. Still don't find them, but we find an Ice Cave Crasher to play instead off of our double Surveil. That works out fine. And they're over it. Weird game, but okay. 2-1 heading into game number 4. I have 2 creatures I can play on turn 5, and a combat trick that doesn't do anything without creatures on board. This is a bad opening hand despite having decent mana. I've got to mulligan this. Alright, this is excellent mana and early creatures and ramp into the Crasher. Snapkeep. We are on the draw here. Never mind, we're on the play. I thought we were on the draw because we were sitting there waiting for our opponent, but it was waiting for their mulligan decision. They kept 7. Wait, did they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they mulliganed once because they're on the draw. Okay. Lead with the Mechan for turn 3 Ice Cave Crasher, if all goes well. And here it is. We're playing against Rakdos here. Some Void aggro, but it also plays a really grindy late game. There's like the Gravedigger that flies that gets a +1/+1 counter every time you get a Void trigger. There's the 7 mana 4/4 flyer that shoots something for 3. Yeah, I can play a really good grindy game too. It doesn't have to be aggro. In fact, I think it plays grindy long games better than aggro. Somewhat similar to Duskmourn, but I think even Duskmourn's red-black deck was more aggressive than this one. Do not want to Grav kill. This Mechan. It's like super premium removal. Orbital Plunger Crasher. Five out of 7 for kill ship now. Tenderfoot jams thanks to its +1/+1 counter ability. Insatiable Skittermaw. It's the 2/2 menace that gets bigger every time they trigger Void. And they pass through. 6 out of 7 for kill ship now. Don't really care to spend a Grav kill on either of these still. So we can jam 5. Even if they have some kind of cheap instant to kill this, they could have killed it during their turn and triggered the Skittermaw. Don't really expect that, but it's possible. they give up on the +1/+1 counter on Skitter Maw in order to be able to kill a bigger creature that we cast right now. But it's only double red. It's like they don't even have a black up, so. Let's just block Crack the Lander. No, not even Crack the Lander. Interesting. Saving the Lander for the sack an artifact, exile a creature. I believe that one's sack an artifact, destroy a creature. Nope, they're just going to use it their turn with the Skitter Maw. Now they've got a Death Toucher for our 5/5, but if we hit our land, beautiful turn to kill a Hole Carver and slam. Also pretty reasonable to station the kill ship instead. But if I go kill Hole Carver and slam, then the turn after I could double activate Tenderfoot and just fully station the kill ship in one swing. If I miss the land draw, doesn't really matter. I suppose what I can do now is kill Hole Carver with Biosynthic Burst. And also activate Tenderfoot. Then Tenderfoot is 7 power for kill ships. The turn I play kill ship, I already have Insta-Station if I want it. That feels pretty good. We'll do that. I don't have the mana to activate Quagmire, attack both, and hold Burst up. Because I don't have enough green. I have to spend this forest on activating Quagmire, and then if I attack with Quagmire, then it's tapped, so it's not a green source for Burst. Alright, no 1 red mana instant is going to kill Tenderfoot in response to this. So we trample over and get that Death Toucher out of the way. Great value from the Burst. 2 mana, destroy Hole Carver, deal 6. Memorial Team Leader. Buff the whole board with +1/+0. It's a really nice combo. I would like that in this deck. So we could have used some more good Kavu. Do not have the kill ship mana, but I can cast Grav Ship. Pick up a Crasher. Can't cast the Crasher right now, but I could upgrade Tenderfoot. Put them to 1 or kill Team Leader. Oh wow, we found a better card, actually. Interceptor Mechan. I could fully station Grav Ship with this Tenderfoot and just choose to hit for 0 right now, but 8 damage is such a swing. Like, if Tenderfoot were a 9/9, this would be like, no question, definitely attack with Tenderfoot. But 1 is not 0. So at 8 power, there is still an argument to station the Grav Ship. Luckily, our Rakdos opponent has had, like, no removal, so just lunging in with that Tenderfoot every turn has been exceptional. There's the kill ship mana. 1/+1/+1 counter from that being instant lethal, but hey, still pretty dang good. They need the removal here, because if they don't have it, Tenderfoot can just station either of our flyers, even if they hold up a bunch of blockers. And Peregrine Beckoner's not enough. Our opponent really suffering from the lack of removal here. That is going to be 2-0 for us heading into game 3. I erased 2 games of Magic there. Wow, my brain is not working. We're not 2-0 right now. We're 3-1. I erased a loss and a win from my database. All right, game 5, we are 3-1. No red in the opener is awkward, but it has the most important color, which is green. Any land gets us surveilling on 3. We do sit here for a long time after that. There's a 5-drop and a 7 in here. If there was no Thawbringer, it'd be an instant mulligan. Probably still needs to get mulliganed. We could certainly hit much worse. Could also get way better pretty easily. And this is a good bit better, even if it is 1 card less. Still has its own awkward issues. Right, if they just blow up the Gene Pollinator, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight. Mono green so far from our opponent. There's their own Blooming Stinger. The mirror match has arrived. The fairest trade of all time. Yeah. I actually don't know if I should have taken that trade because the Stinger lets me have another permanent for Pollinator to have 5 mana next turn. No, they have more Stingers anyway. Ooh, but if I can play Harmonizer this turn, I don't think I want to play Dirgecraft yet. But Harmonizer will probably die. We'll see. I mean, they're mono green for now. There's only one... Okay, well, at 4 mana, there's like a bunch of green removal spells they could have. Diplomatic Relations, fair enough. Alright, still get my Dirgecraft value here. Nothing I want to discard right now. What am I doing? I can just tap the Dirgecraft. Green, white it is. All Fate's Stalker. Goodbye, Gene. Cut Propulsion cannot save you, my friend. Terrible auto tap. Not horrific draws. Won't help me immediately, but they do in the long run. Going to be using Moxite here to get a permanent creature instead of spending 3 every single turn just for a temporary Quagmire to station with. We'll get a permanent 2/2. Bright Spear Zealot, don't care too much. Here's a 2/2. Blow up the Stalker. Could get a Vigilant attack as well, but the Vigilant attack doesn't matter. Unless I go activate Quagmire plus Diplomatic Relations. Which is really bad if they have their own Diplomatic Relations. I guess that's going to be a nightmare for me either way. Okay. Arena does not hold for me, or they clicked really fast. And we get got here. Okay. They don't have another one. 4 more power for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop. Stop with the big booties, I can't propulse you. I'm gonna have to trade Quagmire off. I have not been wanting to do that, but I guess we're flooding enough that it's perfectly fine. It says turned into a top deck war from a lot of flood over here. And there, oh god. Use social engineering. It's incredible in a top deck war, and Sunstar Chaplain is incredible, period. Immediately killed Chaplain. But your social engineering makes it so even when they hit lands, they're putting more 2/2s on the board, so every single draw they have for the rest of the game is relevant no matter what. Which is really bad for us. Here's that hissing Quagmire, earning its slot in the deck. Great value. When we're flooded out to just trade a land into their best attacker. Tenderfoot is great when we're flooded. Not quite use social engineering levels of great, but good enough for now. Wow. I was going to say good enough that we're back to where they will need to draw better than us to win, where if we both draw just as well because I have a good card no matter what I draw and they have a good card no matter what they draw, we're pretty even. But they kept drawing fantastic, so... Jesus, man. The best signpost uncommons in the entire set has arrived, and that's enough to station the kill ship for lethal. I have no flying or reach. Okay. We got outdrawn hard. We had to mulligan that game as well. Yeah. That'll be 3-2 heading into game 6. It was our first game we could double Kavu. That'd be pretty sick. We are on the draw here for game number 6. We have 2 losses under our belt, 3-2, so one more loss and we're out of it, but we've got at least a 50-50 record with another average green splashy deck. Would love to win some more games, though, so we can do some more fun stuff with our Kavus. Ooh, and our Mindform Harmonizer. Okay, so this will be a Mechan turn. They don't have white mana untapped, so I don't have to worry about them going for the deal, too. Just play the Mechan. Cryo Shatter the Mechan over the Gene Pollinator. Sure. They've got the Wombo combo, also spend their misstep to just kill it. Fair enough, it was basically dead already. Warp Technician, if we hit land, we get to play it. I can't get 4 mana because I don't have another permanent for Pollinator right now. Pollinator's just fixing here. Yeah, let's go Warp. I can play a land or a 2-drop off the top, because I can tap the Technician for mana. 4-drop, not quite. Can't do that. Okay, now they do have their white mana untapped, so I'm going to play around the deal 2 to an attacker, blocker. Not send in the Pollinator. They're fine. Halia arrives. If they gain 3 or more in a turn, they draw an extra card, so that is immediately an extra piece of card draw for a 2-for-1. They can get a 3 mana 3/3 and draw a card. I expect they will be drawing even more. Alright, Possibility Technician. Once again, I could play any lands or 2 mana or less spells. Land this time, beautiful. Pass through, so nobody's at risk of focus fire. If they kill Technician, Skyward makes sure I can still play the Crasher. If they don't kill Technician, Skywarden draws me another card. They don't kill it. Basically just gonna play a creature this turn. Let's play the Sky Warden then and draw a card. Grav kill? They have to kill both Kavu to stop me from playing those? Watch him just go Banishing Light, Banishing Light. That would be gnarly. Pass through the turn. I have 6 mana, 7 mana off Gene Pollinator. So I bet best play is going to be 4-drop plus Diplomatic Relations. So what if we Grav kill Halia and play Diplomatic Relations? Hold that up. Or do I save the Grav kill and just play Crasher for now? Crasher hold up Relations. I don't really have attacks without playing Relations or Grav kill, and I don't want to play Relations into their open 6 mana, so I want to play Relations last. So I guess I can, yeah, Grav kill, Halia, attack, and have Diplomatic Relations held up. Focus Fire can kill Technician, but not Sky Warden. Plus, I need a creature untapped for Gene Pollinator to get the Diplomatic Relations mana. They could have Radiant Strike. Or they could let us 2-for-1 them. Where they spend Focus Fire and Pulsar Squadron Ace. Which is perfectly fine. Didn't want a Diplomatic Relations there, because then if they had double Focus Fire, we would get demolished. Ward 2. I can Grav kill, play a tap land pass. Or just play an Ice Cave Crasher before they draw something to kill this Technician. Make sure I've got my value off that. That's also pretty fine. I have a lot of expensive spells in this hand. It's where I feel like I'm supposed to keep playing these lands even though it's less triggers on Harmonizer later. It's just helping me play 2 4-drops in one turn. Plus they have a Ward 2, so there could be like spend 5 mana on Relations plus play a 4-drop on another turn. Another Sky Warden for another draw. I take significant damage from Mouth of the Storm for that, but that's the only way to guarantee Technician draws another card. They're getting to the point where if they draw removal, though, they'll have to kill like Ice Cave Crasher instead. Yeah, we'll play it safe. We'll Grav kill. Hit for 5, I guess 6 if they get a counter from that and double spell. I think I hold the Death Toucher up. 13 is pretty dang low. Well, they have the potential to swing for 6. Another operative land counter on both. Double spell? Or is it another spell in their hand? Lost in Space on the Blooming Stinger. I still get to replay it next turn. Play that and the Kavu. Yep, it's fine. Take 5 here, but they're playing off the top. Wonderful stuff. What do you see? Sky Warden. See a land for turn. Save that one for Harmonizer, I think. Relations for Vigilance and kill the operative. And then I'm super safe on blocks. There's the enhancer. Juice up the friends. Alright, here we go. Time to Harmonizer every turn. We want the +1/+, auto resolve first, then the double. Beautiful. And Death Touch Trample. That's at least 8 damage out of that thing. So they block and take 9 off of that, pretty much. They could double block this and take 10 instead, I guess. It's fine. Take 14. Kaboom. They're at 2. Death Touch Trample is wild. If I attacked all, they could have let those both in and then just killed the other things I attacked with. So I think that was our best attack there. Either way, commanding lead that game. Pretty much all thanks to the Kavus, the Possibility Technician going wild. We drew that and all of our Kavu. So 3 different Kavu to get the draw triggers off of, and the Technician triggers itself twice. So this thing drew us 4 extra cards this game. Huge, huge work there. And then, you know, the cards were good removal and beefy creatures and stuff. Really nice draws. And we are 4-2, a positive record out of this draft, no matter where things go from here. All right, here we are on the play for game number 7. Mono green lands means we don't play anything till turn 4, and that's only if I draw 2 lands in a row, because we're on the play as well. So I can't even really miss any land draws. All right. This is almost the same hand. It's pretty bad, but it is better. We have 2 of our colors. We actually have a 1-drop, and we have 3 out of 4 lands for our 4-drop Ice Till Explorer. Now we've got all 3 of our colors. Nice. Playing against a white deck, blue-white. Get some really good double spell aggro going, but they also have some really good value plays that could take over the long game, so it depends on what they manage to pick up. Rayblade Trooper. Dockworker Drone into Rayblade Trooper is a really nice combo. So when that dies, they move 2 +1/+1 counters around and get a 1/1. And then whenever they put the counters on dies, they get another. Oh, immediate Ice Till Explorer value if they don't kill it. That's sick. Tenderfoot for Trooper would be a great trade. They wouldn't get the 1/1 human out of it, and we'd get that ability off the board forever. It would make our Ice Till Explorer sad, though. It's insect family. Dying in battle. So maybe not the best for morale. Alright, they probably have a Focus Fire here. Where our blocks are super bad till we play Sky Warden. And then they're still not great. Skyward still dies. Oh my god, double Rayblade Trooper. This game has gone from bad to worse. Diplomatic relations is reasonable. Oh, I milled my grav ship. Kind of want to put a counter on the Tenderfoot. Attack with the diplomatic relations to kill the trooper in response to them blocking if they do. They probably just won't. They play another Tenderfoot anyway. I'm gonna just play the Skywarden and just get focus fired anyway. Yeah, this is pretty bad either way. Alright, let's let Tenderfoot get focus fired, then stop one of their pieces of token production here. Maybe should have sent Explorer in too. It's not super likely to block well, because they can just have Rayblade Trooper put a counter on Operative. Or if they end up double spelling, that will also not block well. Yeah, I should have sent Explorer in too, I think. I'm fine with Explorer trading into focus fire at this point. But it's not even going to be blocking into a focus fire. It's just going to die to the onboard power and toughness. Oof. Pre-combat double spell. It's extra huge. There's that focus fire still. Man, a little bit of flood has turned into a lot of bit of flood thanks to Ice Steel Explorer. Finding more mana. And we are dead in 2 turns. They're going to kill all of our blockers here and lose pretty much nothing. Thanks to Focus Fire. Mechanozoa works too. And then we have no outs. Just a very good aggressive draw from the blue-white double spell deck. Where they've drawn into pretty much all gas. No flood. There's the very clear Focus Fire. Yikes. Alright. That'll do us in there. So 4 and 3 will be the final record. Nice average run here. More wins than losses still a positive win rate, which is nice. But just a little bit of inopportune flood in a couple of those games has pulled us out of being in the money, just at that break-even point. Yeah, this deck was pretty fun. I don't think this deck had any huge flaws or like anything super bad about it. I think it was maybe even a little bit above average. The mana base isn't great. That's the biggest flaw in this deck. Like, lander token cards are so contested now that it's like even when these colors were clearly decently open, there's just like no lander token production because the lander cards are so good. Yeah. None of the red removal spells that made lander tokens, none of the red 4/3s that made lander tokens, none of the 3 mana 3/3s in green that made lander tokens. Yeah. That was certainly the biggest downside to the deck, but outside of that, really solid creature curve throughout. Some incredible rares here that gave us some great value, plenty of good removal. I really do think, though, the one issue to this deck was the mana base, and that is just an issue that's going to happen frequently in the set in general. Lander tokens is the one consistent way to fix your mana, so if you can't find the lander tokens, your mana is generally going to be quite bad even in 2-color decks, because you end up with like not a single dual land. But especially for 3-color decks like this, and that did come back to bite us. Even if we never like lost a game because we were stuck on a single color, as far as I remember, we certainly ended up mulliganing many times due to mana, which can absolutely lower our chances of winning those games where we had to mulligan down a card. But yeah, super reasonable deck, super reasonable draft, perfectly happy with it. Just does not go the distance. Just a nice break even, 1,400 gems and 3 packs for the prize out today. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.